Okay, so we're gonna work on getting this set up. And let's go ahead and plug our T connector in. And you will notice that red on the wire is connected to red on here, black to black, and it follows on through. And when this battery is keyed, and so its connection, you will see, is also matched red to black, red to black. And that's very important that you do that. So first off, it's a 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride 2000 milliamp battery. So if you're going to charge this at 1C, it would be 2 amps. Okay, so we're going to set this up to charge. This is what I'm doing. You do it at your own risk. You are liable to do your research to make sure that this is good for you. Never charge a battery and leave it alone, especially in a case like this right here. This is an old battery. So technically, I should probably cycle the battery several times to make sure that it's at full capacity, but there's a long process to doing that and cool down periods and everything else. So this doesn't cover that. So we're just going to put a charge on that right there. So this is just for demonstration to show you how we're setting this up. But I do absolutely recommend that you do your research and check into things, and absolutely do not charge anything and leave it alone. So with that said, just like with a LiPo battery, 1500 milliamp hours on a LiPo would be 1.5 amps. That would be 1C. But I never recommend charging at full capacity on any battery. That is just, it's hard on the battery. It could end up damaging the battery over the long period of time. It charges faster, but at the same time, if you're like me and you're a cheapo, you don't want to keep buying new batteries ever so often. You want them to last as well as you can. So that's what we're going to set up in here. So let's go ahead and go here. We're going to take, well, we're not on LIBUSE. Nickel metal hydride. So I had to hit stop to back out of the program I was already in, and then decrease and everything to get to nickel metal hydride, which is what this is. If it's a NiCad battery, that's the one that you would use. But nickel metal hydride is what we're going to select because that's what this battery is. Now we'll go to it. So it's already set to 2 amp. So what we're going to do is cycle through the options. We're not wanting to cycle. We're going to auto charge. Okay. And then we're going to hit, let's go ahead and connect our battery. Double checking my connection. Hit enter. And then we're allowed to select our amperage. If this is a brand new battery, then you really want to do a deep cycle charge on it, and that would be something like a fraction of a C, like 0.01 amp or 0.02 or 0.05, really, really low, and it'll go for many, many hours. So what I'm going to do is, I don't care if it takes a little while. 1 amp would be 1C. Let's go ahead and go 1 amp. We'll go there. Okay, so now we're set up. I hit enter. It's checking the battery. Now it's showing me an 8.11 volt. And 0.1 amp is what it's putting to it. 8.13 volts is what it sees off of it. Now I did not set a amp hour limit on this right here because I set it to auto. So we're going to see how well this charger works. I'm going to I don't have my strap with me to take and connect to it to monitor the temperature of the battery, but you want to make sure that the battery is not getting too hot. I don't recommend you put your hand on them. I just started it, but we're going to check it from time to time. If you have a infrared thermometer, you might want to hit that battery with that and check it in multiple locations to see how your battery temperature is doing. You don't want your battery temperature to get too high. So if it starts, if it starts getting really, really hot, then that's really, really bad and you need to stop. So anyway, we'll come back when this right here gets to a charge, gives us an alarm telling us that it is full, and we'll go from there. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we have charge. I've taken it off charge. It got a little warm to the touch, and I went ahead and shut it down then. And it's been sitting here for probably 30, 45 minutes. 8.5 volts, and that's what it was when I took off. So it's holding that voltage, and I'll check it again. I probably won't put it on video, but I'll check it again tomorrow. I'll just leave it all sitting here on the bench, and and we'll see that it's still got a good voltage on it. But let's plug it in and see what this thinks. Down. Okay.
Welcome to OpenCX.
And it shows 8.6 volts. So it shows a good voltage on it. Seems just fine. So, like I said, I will take and we will leave this setting on the bench. And so it'll be tomorrow sometime we finish this video, but we're going to go ahead and pull this out. And then I'll probably follow behind it with another time frame of this staying plugged into here just to see, if it maintains or if this potentially draws it down some. I don't know. But that's how you charge it. The charge seemed to be working just fine. Didn't have any issues. Like I said, when this started to get warm, I just went ahead and shut it down. It was already at 8.5 volts. And so that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, leave comments below. And let's talk about it. If you see where I did something wrong, let me know, because I want to do it right. But that's the settings I used to set up this battery. There wasn't a option to set a voltage. You just set it to nickel metal hydride, and you set it to the amperage you wanted to charge at. Again, the milliamp hours divided by 3 gives you, the milliamp hours. If you move, just like with a LiPo, you move it 3 decimal places to the left, and you got 2.0, which would be 2 amps, which is what this would normally charge at. I set it for a max amperage of 1 amp, and I set the charger on auto. The difference, my understanding, between manual and auto is auto will ramp up to the 1 amp and not go over it while charging this. And the manual will shoot straight up to where you set it and do a straight charge, which makes it charge faster. So anyway, there you have it. Questions, like I said, leave comments below. Okay, so here's an update on the battery. For me, a day and a half. For you, like no time at all. So yesterday morning when I checked the battery, it was 8.53, I believe. So now we're going to give it a check. This is the next day in the afternoon. Oops, backwards. And we're going to see if it lost any voltage. Just setting here. So 8.29. So it went down from 8.53 to 8.29. So it has dropped down just a little bit in capacity. So I'm just going to check. I'm going to let it sit here again. Then tomorrow evening when I get home from work, I'm going to check it again and see if it's dropped down even more. And that'll kind of give me an idea if the battery is any good. I don't know how long it's set in the Tyrannus 9X or X9 transmitter. And so just try to get an idea if I need to really get into the battery pack and find out if there's a bad cell. I'm kind of thinking it probably isn't, and there is a potential that I may need to just run some laps on this thing to try to get it bring it back, because you can run it through cycles of charging, discharging, charging, discharging, and such as that. It does cause heat, and it has to be cooled down in between those cycles. But basically, it's kind of the same difference of taking, like a 9-volt drill battery, the old Makitas, and hooking it in series through a car battery of 12 volts, and taking your file connected to one wire with the battery linked through that series, and the other terminal off, I think, the negative from the battery, or it could be the positive, and you run it down that file, and that causes 12-volt spikes to go through that battery that burns the little fingers that will grow between the cells, shorting the battery out or reducing the life. And we have brought batteries back like that before in the past. I don't recommend that you do that, because that is a potential issue. There's always a possibility of injury when dealing with batteries. But that is one form of bringing a old battery back, and I think those were probably NiCad batteries. So anyway, there is a process that you can use, and it is supported by the regular chargers, and would be a much safer, I believe, way. But you would need to follow the procedure, which I haven't gone over and may or may not, of cycles. You charge, discharge, and repeat. And then there's a cool down period in there to where you'll allow the cell to cool down. But anyway, so we'll check this again tomorrow. And so we've got it documented at 8.29 volts this time. Yesterday, over 24 hours prior, it was 8.53, I believe. And so tomorrow we'll see if it's still close to that 8.29, because the battery is supposed to be 7.2 volts. And if we don't drop below that 7.2 volts, then I'm going to say it's good. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. But, well, I will. For you, it's going to be just a couple seconds from now. We'll be right back. Okay, so here we are on day, what would this be? This was done Sunday. Today's Tuesday. So 2.5 days later. I think yesterday the, what was it? 8.24 or something around there. And now it is 8.21. So I think it's stabilizing, and I think the battery is good. I think we managed to recharge it just in time to be good. So I'm going to call that good now, because just dropping 0.0, what would that be? That was, I want to think it was 8.29 or 81.24. So that would be 0.03 to 0.08 volts drop in the last 24-hour period. And so I can only imagine that either gets less or completely stabilizes and stays constant. I'm not a battery guru that I know a whole lot about these things, but that's just my assumption. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to kind of stop on the testing, you know, that because this could go on for many more days. And so what I'm going to do is actually install this into the transmitter and leave the transmitter turned off. And then I may do one more test tomorrow to see what kind of drops we've got on this transmitter over a 24-hour period just plugged in here. You know, not really anything particular. And so I'm going to stick it in here, turn it on to make sure it's got good connection. We're good there. And we'll turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
And it shows 8.3 volts. So now we're just going to let this set. Tomorrow we'll check the voltage on the transmitter. We'll just check it on the transmitter itself by turning it on, and we'll see where we end up. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I thank you, and I will see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.